So, let's get started, shall we? Hello, hello. I am WriterMaven, wrestling commentator, focusing on all things Judgment Day, Dom, Liv, Raquel, Carlito, JD, Finn, and Dom, and this Monday Night Raw. Would you mind if I, WriterMaven, take a victory lap just for a little bit? I don't like to gloat, but I gotta take a victory lap. I did this after SummerSlam when Dom turned on Rhea, but I got to take a victory lap here. Why am I taking a victory lap? Because we just now have the confirmation that Rebel says, please gloat. Thank you for this. So we got the confirmation that Iyo is out of the chamber, so she's not getting in any kind of second chance, whatever. Then she's not making any kind of match or triple threat or anything like that. She was out of the chamber. And then we got the match set up for the Raw after Elimination Chamber for Rhea versus Iyo for the World Heavyweight title. I will now commence taking my victory lap. I'm running around my room right now. I knew it. It was just everything was just setting up for that to happen. I mean, I'm gonna get into the copium that's on social media right now in a little bit, but just seeing that play out, um, that made my day. Because like I said, it wouldn't make sense to have Iyo make any kind of triple threat, and people are still trying to make a triple threat. I don't think that's going to happen. Some things have been flipped around, and like I said, maybe this was the plan all along. It's just people just got their hopes up with inaccurate dirt sheet reports. Remember, the WWE even called out the dirt sheet reports when it came to Alexa Bliss and her return. So I'm thinking either somebody's like feeding the dirt sheets some misinformation, and then they put it out there, and people ran with it. And then now these same people like Corey and Ibu are now, having to backtrack way hard because of what just happened. Ibu and Corey were just saying it's going to be Rhea and Iyo at WrestleMania. That's looking less and less true, unless they do a triple threat. But they didn't report a triple threat. They just said it was going to be Rhea and Iyo. So my prediction that Liv is going to get in there to then win the chamber and face Rhea at WrestleMania is coming in stronger and stronger by the day. And I'm really thinking she is going to win the chamber because, like I said, she is due her moment. You can't put the division on her back. I know Triple H is going to Triple H and he's going to have his bullshit, but you can't have Liv have the entire women's division on her back as the only heel and then, to cut her off at the knees. The Raw division right now is set up for faces. Faces. If you look at the chart, it was it was Iyo, it was Liv as the top heel. Nobody else comes close. PFC, Shayna, Zoe, Ivy Nile, they're way down at the bottom. And again, look at how Liv is being used. As soon as Liv is kind of mostly away from Rhea, she's tying back into her now. But now that Liv is away from Rhea, you see how much better everything has gotten with Liv in the women's division. Rhea only showed up for like a minute of screen time. Can you believe that? We talk about Braun Breaker not showing up. At least with Braun Breaker, he will be out there wrestling. He will eventually get a match and he'll be out there wrestling. But with Rhea, she just showed up for like a minute and bounced. This is the champion. This is supposedly the face, one of the faces of the WWE, and you only have her out there for a minute. What is she doing? This is the one that they say is the face of the WWE, not just the champion, the face. Like they're putting her up there with Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes, CM Punk. You know the difference between all those guys and Rhea Ripley? They be busting their ass off. Roman Reigns has an excuse with his health, but he still be out there busting ass and putting in work and putting other people over. He was losing. He was getting his ass kicked when he turned face. Cody Rhodes has been going nonstop, balls to the wall since for 2 years pretty much. He worked through 39, lost at 39, worked all the way through the year to WrestleMania 40, won it there, and he's been working ever since. Yeah, his brain has gotten dull at some points, and sometimes it don't make sense, and we don't want him to be roped into bloodline bullshit with Solo. But he works. He's working. He stays at the end of his, like when I was in Austin, he stayed over propping up Jimmy, signing stuff for the fans, and sending the fans home happy. We see him in his pictures like signing autographs on his belt, his weight belt. We see Cody bust ass every day. If I pull up something around Cody right now, you can pull up his schedule, see what he's doing. If you pull up anything on Cody Rhodes, he is balls to the wall. Do we get that with Rhea? Like, I don't even get it. Like, what's the point of having her with the title belt if she's just gonna be on there once? But you had Liv having that belt, dragging it all over the place, doing interviews with Entertainment Tonight. She was doing all the interviews. Same thing with Dom. But with Liv, she was taking that belt everywhere. She's showing up on red carpets, interviews. She was doing it all. I haven't really seen that. And Liv's work ethic reminds me of Becky. Becky is out there too. When she had the title, she was out there doing the same thing. But you don't see this type of work ethic with Rhea. And somebody was trying to say, well, she has anxiety. I don't care if you have anxiety. I have social anxiety. It's really hard for me to talk to other people. Really, I get it. But if you're going to be the champ, you got to work through this, or you have to make do or do something. You could try to have some concessions, and you can have some workarounds for it, but you got to do it. That's you're the face. You're supposedly a face of the company. Like, you have to put in that work. You have to be out there for people. People will want to see you. So you can't just blame it on anxiety. So that's my little Rhea rant. I'm gonna get back to Rhea on that, but I just had to point that out because I can't get over the fact that Rhea just showed up for pretty much 1 minute of time on Raw. 1 minute. And this isn't just like backstage stuff or like stuff that they showed for the international market. Everybody else is like busting ass. And then here comes Rhea with 1 minute of work. Dom was doing 1 minute of work, but Dom was also doing some other stuff too. Dom would be out there with his interviews. So it's not like compared to Dom, like Dom would be showing up there and we were complaining about him not showing up, but he was at least out there advancing storylines, and he would do his interviews and he would do media week and he would have his meet and greets like sell out. It's completely different from Rhea. But anyway, I say all that to say I'm gonna get back to Rhea later, but WriterMaven, your girl, is taking the victory lap. I'm taking a victory lap. Things might change in the future, but for right now, in this very moment, in that very ring, I'm taking a victory lap. It's like I said, I saw the signs changing. I saw the signs. I saw it like, okay, when the accidental DQ happened, I saw it. I saw it happening because we wasn't really expecting. We just thought it was just going to be like Liv going straight to tag, and it didn't happen that way. They just did Elimination Chamber, and then they did it with Iyo, and then people crashed out about that. But as soon as that DQ happened, I said, okay, I'm seeing the signs. I say she's in the chamber. If she's in the chamber, she has a chance to win in the chamber, and if she wins the chamber, she can face anybody for the title. So that puts her right back in the title hunt. But yes, victory laps. I encourage all of you to take a victory lap right now. If y'all are in this journey with me and y'all agreed with what I said, or even just deviated from it from a little bit. Like right now, I wasn't completely right. I thought it was going to be at Elimination Chamber, but it's going to be the Raw after. But it's close enough. I'm taking it anyway. So, if you want to do that victory lap with me, and y'all been my ride or dies, have at it. Enjoy it. Bask in the glory. So, let's get into Raw, shall we? Okay. I need to get my notes. I have notes. I actually have notes. This Raw, like I said, this Raw was perfect. We had storyline progression. Haven't I always just been harping on that we need major storyline progression for weeks. This was the Raw that had major storyline progression. And also notice that since Judgment Day was scattered throughout Raw, Raw flowed better. We started off with Liv. Then we went into Dom and Carlito. And then we went into Finn talking to Seth. I'm not sure if y'all saw that little promo Finn had with Seth. That was on the international market, and I happened to see it. But we also got Finn and everybody else in the clubhouse, and the clubhouse has so many clues. I had to go back and watch it a different time, and I noticed so many clues. So I'm going to talk about this in chronological order. Thank you for the likes, Tyler, and because there's a lot to get to. So starting off, we have Rhea have an interview with Kathy, and I cannot stand Kathy. Kathy just been getting on my nerves for a long time now, and I just can't stand them. Those two, Rhea and Kathy together, just it's just ick to me, and it's annoying, and I can't stand them. So Kathy was interviewing Rhea when Iyo strolls up with Dakota Kai, who's back from her injury. So I'm happy about that. She's looking good. And Iyo looks at Rhea and says, you cost me, pretty much paraphrasing here, you cost me WrestleMania. And she did. But does Rhea apologize for that? No. Okay, here's a segue. This is your face. Rhea is supposedly your face. Why is it that Iyo comes off as more sympathetic because she had her title opportunity taken away than Rhea is? Why aren't you apologizing, Rhea? Now, this is par for the course. I guess we should expect that she wouldn't apologize, because she wouldn't apologize and say she was sorry for Liv. She would say she was sorry for Dom, and she would say she was sorry for Raquel. But it's just really, really glaring that she just scoffs at, Iyo having the issue with her WrestleMania opportunity being taken away. Like, this is your face. I don't care, if you're gonna make her the face and make her right in all this situation with Dom, Liv, and Raquel, then y'all need to put in the effort to make her a face. She can't carry over the same character that she's been as a heel. I don't care if she's being cheered. CM Punk gets cheered when he was a heel. Drew McIntyre was getting cheered as a heel, but he will course correct to make himself the heel. CM Punk, he's an ass, but everybody expects him to be the ass, and he doesn't go too far when he's being an ass. Like tonight with Logan Paul, when he was up there against Logan Paul, he's an ass, but he's also was giving Dominik some props by saying, you're just a cheap Dominik Mysterio. You see how that keeps CM Punk on the face side? It gave Dom his props, but he's also putting Logan Paul in his place too. So you have CM Punk the ass, and he could easily go heel, but he's doing enough to keep himself on the face side for fans, because fans are going to cheer you either way, but he's still doing enough to keep himself on the face side. We're not getting that with Rhea. This is why I've said, and y'all have heard me, that I said if we do get Liv and Rhea at WrestleMania, she needs to get stripped down to the brass tacks, and her character needs to be overhauled, because this is just annoying. You can't present yourself like this and keep going with it. If she's a face, she's got to act like a face. A face would have been contrite. A face would have been saying, I'm sorry. She doesn't have to be like trying to kiss Iyo's ass about it, but she could have been saying, like, look, I'm sorry. I want to make this up to you. I'm gonna be staying out of, I'm gonna stay out your way, and I'm gonna stay out your way, and I am talking with Adam Pearce about something. Do it like that. There's ways of there's ways of being presenting yourself as face but still having an edge. This is like Rhea is just like, I don't care. Like, why? Never apologize for nothing. And I'm like I said, I guess we should just expect that she will never apologize. But still, that's your face. Why are you doing that? Iyo should not be looking more sympathetic than your actual baby face that's getting cheered. I'm not expecting Iyo to be like flipped to where she has to be the heel in the match, but Iyo should be not. Iyo shouldn't be getting the sympathy like that. Anywho, and again, that's another tangent. I'm like, that just really stuck out to me. Like, why is it that Iyo is looking more sympathetic than Rhea? Why is Iyo like showing more baby face than Rhea? Anyway, let us go on to Damage Control versus Liv Quilt. There was a promo Liv did in the commercial break for the international market. I really do not like how Michael Cole and Pat were acting like they didn't understand what, they were just kind of scoffing at not understanding what Raquel said in her promo. She did hers in Spanish, and I like when they do the Spanish promos, like her, Carlito, like he did today, and Dom, like he did. I like it when they do the Spanish promos because that makes them more I know that's a lot more comfortable for them to be saying the promos in Spanish, but I really did not like how Pat and Cole were just kind of scoffing about like not understanding Raquel. Like, oh, and then when Liv was translating, like, and they're like, oh, she said all that. Like, come on, dude. This is why we need a heel commentator on Raw because I can't stand this shit with Pat and Cole. It's just everyday shitting on heels, and we don't have anybody on the heel commentary side to balance it out. It's annoying. Anyway, this match was a banger, absolute banger. Um, you need to watch that match. If you haven't watched that match, go back and watch that match. Again, notice how when Rhea is removed from the program, everybody is like showing out with their matches. I saw a comment that's from a Rhea fan that was kind of disguised that said, what was that? I'm gonna look that up because it was a really astute observation. I can't find it, but the Rhea fan pretty much said that like they're starting to see that it's not. It doesn't seem like it's the other women that's the problem with the matches. It's more like they're seeing that Rhea is the problem, but they can't say that on their main account, pretty much. And it's true. Like people are starting to see that it's not other women, it's Rhea. Like, how's it that Liv and Iyo can go out there and do this banger match along with Dakota and Raquel, and you have this banger match, and then here comes Rhea, who just seems like she gets to do with her dream matches, but they just been falling flat. The only match that was pretty good was Charlotte, but other than that, I mean, it's not like we're getting all these nice grap matches. Rhea seems like her best matches were with Liv, and then we have Liv going over here and having great matches with Iyo. Like it's getting to the point with Liv and Iyo that you want to do fight forever because they're that good. I guess they're wrestling soulmates, but it just shows you the contrast that it's not everybody else that's the problem. It's a Rhea problem. I'm sure everybody saw that Liv got busted open the hard way. She's like bleeding, like, oh my gosh. Like as soon as I saw it, I was like, ooh, I hope she's okay. I hope she didn't get concussed. We saw her in the back in the clubhouse and it seemed like she was okay. So hopefully she's okay and she didn't get concussed. And then we saw her Instagram videos about it too. So it looks like she's okay, just bloodied and probably bruised up. Liv loses here. I really didn't like the loss, but it's a tag team. Dakota was coming back. I was expecting damage control, not damage control. I was expecting like Shayna and Zoe to maybe interfere because they were talking shit on DX, but that didn't happen. But for what it stands, I mean, since the match was so good, I'm gonna let that slide. It's a loss. And then people were saying, how come Raquel couldn't take the loss? Raquel has a match against Roxanne next week. Do you really want her to take a loss going into that? Especially when Roxanne is probably going to lose at Vengeance Day on Saturday. Like, they're going to cancel each other out. Like, I wouldn't want Raquel to get pinned, and she's already got a loss due to the tag team match. So it's not like she won the match. So you got Raquel has a loss and Roxanne had a loss possibly. So I mean, Iyo needed to kind of get built up a little bit. So it is what it is. And Liv has been getting the better end of Iyo anyway, so a loss here, I don't mind as much. I don't like it, but I don't mind it, especially with the match they put on. One second, one moment. Family stuff. Okay, so yeah, Liv lost, not ideal, but it is what it is. I'll just have. That's just one of those losses I'll just have to accept. I mean, as long as she's not losing in Chamber, I'll just have to take it. And then we finally get Dom to have an in-ring promo. As soon as his music hit with AJ, I was so happy. We finally get a in-ring promo with Dom. Carlito was there backing him up. Dom was sporting JD's merchandise. It was the purple Judgment Day Iris Ace shirt, and I'm really glad that Dom's wearing that. It shows that he's still connected with JD. Because when we get to the clubhouse later, and if you saw Finn talking to Seth, it's just been wearing his own merch and not any of the Judgment Day stuff. So Dom comes out there, the boos are there, and this is why I say that Dom can't really turn face. I mean, he can probably get to face, but I think the crowd just likes wanting to boo him too much. So this just shows that he's staying heel. You had Carlito out there backing his boy up in his purple skinny jeans, as AJ said. And then Dom was talking his shit to Ricola said Raquel just punked Roxanne. Did something happen before I go too far into AJ? The WWE Twitter. Okay. Looking like a maniac with that bloody face. You. Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna have to look for it. Let's see. WWE. There she is. Okay, I don't want to listen to you, Roxanne. I love you, but I don't want to listen to all that. What's that in the background right there? I didn't come out patted her on the head. Okay. Alright, yeah. So going back to Dom. Why are you playing? I don't want you to play. Okay. So going back to Dom and AJ, I really did not like how they insinuated how Judgment Day was lesser than or less than because Damien and Rhea was there, and then Rhea was used to get the cheap pop. Did y'all notice that when AJ mentioned that? And I'm like the reason why Judgment Day is less than is due to booking. It's not just because Damien and Rhea left. I mean, y'all make them superhuman. Like nobody could recover with that amount of booking against them. They're just now recovering now because now that they're away from Damien and mostly away from Rhea, they're able to do their own storylines now, and they're being stronger because of it. But yeah, I just didn't like that insinuation. I really like Dom stepping up to AJ. He didn't back down. He wasn't really hiding behind Carlito. He was doing the chicken shit thing where he, stopped before AJ could really hit him and then gets out the ring. But that's heel tactics. So, I mean, that's what it is. I mean, but it's not like Dom was cowering. He stood up to AJ. AJ even gave him his props because he said that Dom was a really hard worker. And I was like, thank you, AJ. I mean, I'm glad that that's acknowledged how hard a worker Dom is. I mean, AJ pretty much said that on the promo. And then we got Dom attacking AJ, and they're scrapping it up, which will lead to AJ versus Dom next week. Looping this into Braun because Braun confronts AJ later. This is kind of tying Dom back into the Intercontinental scene because of that. Um, I have some slight concerns that Dom might be used just to warm up AJ for Braun, but they could do like what I think prediction time or just a theory time. They can do like what Dom did to Carmelo and Ilya in NXT. Anybody remember what he did when Dom was facing Carmelo in NXT about 2 years ago? Dom had a match against Carmelo. I think this is when he was still. I think this is during his first North American Championship run. So he's fighting Carmelo. AJ, not AJ, Ilya was on the outside, observing the match. So, you know, Dom and Carmella are going back and forth. Carmella gets the upper hand. Dom rolls out the ring, sees Ilya there, and then with all of his might slaps Ilya. Now, Dom has some really good slaps. Like he can slap. If y'all remember him, how he slapped Cody, and then how he slapped Ilya too. Actually slapped like Ilya like a few times, and it's really hilarious because he puts his energy into it, and that's probably why Gunther was bleeding when he got into a slap fight with Dom, because Dom be putting his energy into those slaps. So Dom rolls out the ring, slaps Ilya. Ilya, of course, is pissed, and then he comes in the ring and then attacks Dom, which causes the DQ. So they can do something like that where it saves Dom and it saves AJ and Braun. So you can have Dom and AJ have a match, and then you have Braun Breaker out there because he wants to get into AJ's space, and then you can go back and forth, and then Dom can just roll out the ring and then just slap Braun Breaker, which will enrage Braun, and he gets in the ring and just wants to attack Dom, which causes the DQ and gives the win to Dom, which is kind of like how Rhea did to Liv, but this would be a little bit more blatant. Like Dom is actually inciting Braun to interfere into the match, whereas with Liv, this was more subtle. Like she attacked Rhea so she could pull her, but that was more subtle. See, Liv was more subtle with it. Dom was more in your face about it. So that can happen. And also we can get like the person to help come that Dom wants to recruit. He could just come up and show up and help Dom. Because I'll get into that for the clubhouse scene, wanting new members. We could have that as well. We might have a hint for that. We Malachi Black was released from AEW, and people are saying that could be Malachi Black. And then somebody said that it would be really funny, like in the Judgment Day clubhouse, you'll have like Liv and Dom on the couch, Raquel and Carlito, and then the Carlito is playing video games, and then you have Malachi Black in a casket somewhere with candles. So they could do that. But yeah, like I said, I just like the growth here for Dom. It's just growth, 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 growth. This is all we wanted. We wanted some growth. We wanted some progression, and boy, did we get it. Dom is still being chicken shit, and Dom is still being a heel, but he's stepping up more to people, and that's what he needs to do. And then Seth and Finn had a little bit of a promo. I kind of really didn't get the. This was on the international market. It was kind of short. Is where Seth was serving cunt and in the crowd while he was being interviewed, and then Finn rolled up, and then they're talking about their histories a little bit before Finn walks off. So we had that little promo there, and then we get to the clubhouse, and then we got some real major storyline progression here. So we first see Raquel, Liv lying on Raquel and Dom. Dom's checking on her face, really cute. Y'all noticed that Liv was having her support Dino Tindy plushies, like she was holding on to them while Dom was checking on her. And then in comes the demented demon known as Finn Balor. And I'm really sorry about that, sis, but if you listen to Finn, you should have listened to Finn. And people were just like, if we listen to Finn, we'd still be losing. Like he's still pushing it. Like if you listen to him, y'all, that if you listen to Finn, they'll win. But that's being proven blatantly false. So Dom steps up, and I have a partial theory came true here as well. Where you remember when I said the other day where Dom can say that everything is coming up roses, and he did say that. Like hey, lives in the chamber. Raquel has a match against Roxanne. They have a tag team title opportunity, and I'm facing AJ next week, and everything's good. So again, that's I'll take a partial victory lap on that because it's Dom being positive here, saying, "Hey, everything's coming up roses. It's fine." Liv got, Liv got pinned and bloodied up, but everything else is coming up roses. And then Finn does the demented thing, and then says, "Oh, I think this is some excuses." And then Dom, oh my gosh, Dom got so in Finn's face, like he was like, "Wait, um." The way Dom got in Finn's face and the way Finn's face smiled dropped. I gotta pull it up because and just kind of comment on it while I'm talking about it. Because again, I don't want to my notification. Back to the WWE to you with you. Ew, Logan Paul. Ew. Okay, let's fast forward a little bit here. Yeah, so Dom is saying everything came up roses. Finn says it's excuses. Oh, Dom called Finn a fool. Yeah, just right in his face. And then this is when Finn and Dom getting back and forth. Finn saying that Dom can handle AJ on his own, and then Finn, Dom was calling Finn out for not being out there with him and Carlito talking with AJ. So Finn was like, you could go handle AJ on your own. Dom was like, fine. Then and then Finn is staying on his like staying out of it. So it sounded like Finn is going to be on his own for the Seth match. You might still have Dom interfere, and I'm going to probably talk about this a little bit later on, and maybe towards the end of the week where we can see if we get some more information. But it looks like Finn is going to be on their own. So it's going to look like Dom is going to be on his own, or at least he'll have Carlito, and then Finn's going to be on his own for his match with Seth. And then at this point, Dom says, "Hey, maybe we should look for a new member because JD is out." Which is, again, that's a logical step. You notice how, again, that's that Dom's quiet leadership. He sees that there's a gap that they need additional help. Excuse me. JD is out, and they need additional help. And of course, Finn, the demented demon, like Dom's like, we're short-handed. And then Finn was like, I wonder why JD's hurt, like blaming Dom for JD getting hurt. And then Liv like gets in the middle of that. And then, but Liv is backing Dom's play here. Like she's like, hey, I think we do need a new member. And then Finn is like, I'm going to fix things around here and no new member. So again, he's just trying to be the leader forcefully. Meanwhile, Dom is doing all the stuff that the group needs, and he's not calling himself the leader. And then Finn walks off in a huff. So, again, this was a needed backstage promo in the clubhouse. We had Dom step up. We saw Dom call Finn a fool straight to his face. Like, that's just needed. Like, this is more like Dom is not taking Finn's shit anymore. So, while he's not turning on Finn right now, he's not gonna just sit there and let Finn bad talk him either. So he just said, "Hey, you're a fool." But may I call to your attention the clues in the clubhouse? While Dom was talking to Finn, what did we see on the wall behind Dom? We saw the vest Dom wore when he betrayed Rhea for Liv. And the vest was flipped to show the backbone. So we see the backbone of Dom's vest. So that's not the new vest that Dom's been wearing now, not the Garita vest. This is the vest that he wore at SummerSlam, and it shows the backbone. This is the backbone. This is where the hint came back at SummerSlam that he's getting his backbone. That's the vest. Also, we saw the return of the skull is on the little skeleton where the gun belts are still unbuckled. They haven't been buckled for a while, but they're still unbuckled. On the 2K screen behind Finn and Dom, you saw the screen loading up with Shayna. So we saw like Shayna on there, and I think there were some other people too. I need to go back to. So it was Shayna, it was the Fiend, and then it was it's somebody else too. Is that Braun? I'm not sure, but we had that on there. But there are some clues with the clubhouse. So yeah, we had major storyline progression there. And then right after this, guess who we see? We see Rhea. Now, I'm not going to give you a match. I'm just going to say that, I went and talked to Adam Pearce, and the Monday after Elimination Chamber is just going to be you and me for the World Heavyweight title. I'm like, how can you, what kind of phrasing is that? I'm not going to give you a match? What? Like, where's the, you know, Rhea's just a mess character wise. Like, why would you present it like that, Rhea? Why? It makes no sense. Yeah, so yeah, it was just like Iyo was really happy with that. So now we have that set for the Monday after Elimination Chamber. So that's all set in stone. Some other things that I noticed on Raw, we did have Lyra be beaten by Bailey. I really thought we were going to have Roxanne or Cora interfere in that match. I don't like Lyra just getting beat straight up like that. Um, because that's your champion. Like, why couldn't you like give her a protected loss there? And then I really didn't like Logan Paul. It's obvious that he still needs a lot of somebody telling him what to do. This is what I keep telling people. He's not a good wrestler. He just rehearses well because Ray Ray had to keep calling the shots. Like, I mean, so it's easy to rehearse a match and get it down to where you look good, but if you're just trying to call stuff on the fly, he was looking lost. And then Ray Ray got beat up by New Day afterwards, so I don't. They're still continuing with that. I don't know. And then we had Jay yeeting. Somebody said time Jay's yeeting, and it was almost 10 minutes. Was it almost 10 minutes or 5 minutes or something like that? It was just ridiculous amount of time, and I'm like, we're gonna sit here and yeet for 20 minutes, and then Jay just chose Gunther, and I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, I'm not gonna be watching that match. That's probably gonna be the main event, and nobody's gonna be interested in it. So that's Raw. Like I said, there was a lot of progression. I'm taking my victory lap. What I will say is that since Bailey's in there, it's going to be real interesting if Naomi gets into the chamber as well. So you'll have Bianca, Naomi, and Bailey all in elimination chamber match, and that all kind of ties into storylines there. So I also want to talk about how people are just really trying to cope hard with Iyo now. Now they're trying to say, oh, we can still have Iyo be a triple threat because Liv can attack Iyo. Why would Liv attack Iyo? I mean, people are thinking it's going to be Bianca for some reason. Now they're saying, oh, well, Bianca's going to be the match for Rhea. They said it was discussed. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Bianca and Rhea being discussed does not mean that it was planned for WrestleMania. Sean Ross said it was discussed. And that's different from being planned. You know whose match was being planned and said by Sean Ross Sapp? Charlotte and Tiffany. That was the planned match. And it looks like that's what's going to happen. It's going to be Charlotte and Tiffany. I was just saying that it could deviate just because of reactions, but it looks like they're just going to go with Charlotte and Tiffany. That was the planned match, according to Sean Ross Sapp. Bianca and Rhea is just something discussed. And with Bianca, she's tied up in her own storyline. So you're going to pluck Bianca out of her storyline with Naomi and Jay just for Rhea, just so we can have like a month and a half of build for WrestleMania match? Nah. And then they barely like even talked about it. I mean, at least with Becky, they were interacting a little bit more until they led up into WrestleMania. But Bianca, she hasn't really been interacting with Rhea. So there's no build there. And like I said, you just can't have a match. And that's Rhea's problem. You just can't have the match. But I will go back and say that the amount of copium trying to make this a triple threat match is amazing to me. I don't see how this would be amazing. I don't get how this could be a triple threat match. Liv is not going to be attacking somebody. If she loses, she's going to lose. Then, what's the point of her attacking somebody? Why would she attack Iyo? I mean, some people are saying that she might attack Rhea so Iyo can get the match or the title, so because she can beat Iyo. But again, I don't think she would want to. That just seems like I don't get that plot line there. Like, why would you attack Rhea? Because that just makes Rhea go back after her again. So it's still gonna be Rhea either way. So you might as well just have Rhea straight up. I still think this is going to be, until I see otherwise, I still think this is going to be a straight up one on one match. I don't think you're going to get a triple threat. Any kind of triple threat or fatal four ways, that's going to be with like the mid card. That's going to be like Intercontinental. It's going to be United States title probably, and any of the women's like mid card or tag team titles. I don't see like the women's match is going to be a triple threat match. But yeah, the Iyo fans are coping hard. The Rhea fans are coping hard. Um, Bianca fans, they're kind of like looking at them like, or don't even want to face Rhea right now because they know that she would lose at this particular moment. They don't even want to face Rhea. Bianca fans are like, nah, we just want Jade and Naomi right now. And that, and fair. I mean, I wouldn't want to deal with Rhea right now either. Because if Bianca just is plucked out of it, you know that she's going to lose because there's no story. Like, you think she's gonna just go in, walk in after this win and beat Rhea? Not the way this thing is set up. But anyway, come join me with another victory lap of predictions. I'm gonna enjoy this for this week. I mean, things can change in a heartbeat, but for right now, your girl is just going to enjoy the victory lap.